So, you've wasted your life. What now? You hide it well, but we both know it's getting harder and harder to drag yourself out of bed every morning, isn't it? With each passing day, you feel your potential dissolve like the 5 shovels of sugar you religiously stir into your extra strong cup of joe. And no matter how many additives you shoehorn in, it still tastes bitter, doesn't it, friend? You're convinced you've ruined your life, right? That you've squandered away all of those promises of greatness. Like the bank account of gifted and talentedness has run dry and they refuse to loan you some more because you haven't paid into it for years. Because reasons. How many nights do you spend tossing and turning as you ruminate over what ifs and could haves? Too many to count, eh? You're not alone. Honestly, these are the things that keep me up at night too. Or at least they were, until I had the strangest realization, and then everything changed. It's story time. You stared at her grave. Only it wasn't her grave anymore. It was your grave. You stared at your grave. If reincarnation exists, this venture into dark tourism is the closest you've ever felt to having proof. It stirred something within. An unsettling familiarity, an unspoken kinship. Standing there, by her final resting place, although poignant, felt somehow forbidden. You were a ghost at your own funeral. Your face beneath the soil as the mourners lay down their roses. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Sorry friend, you're out of luck. By being there, you've broken the laws of physics. You'd found yourself face to face with your doppelganger and disrupted the entire fabric of space-time. You see, if the wind had blown in a different direction 15 years ago, this would have been you. It's a sobering thought. This was the grave of Sylvia Plath. Without wanting to dilute you into nothing more than a pick-me girl begging for the attention of the Dead Poets Society, back then you felt that the connection ran deeper than just reading the bell jar because your teen years were bleak. Although they were, and you did. You told anyone who would listen that you could have written that book. Not in the ego-driven, I'm a tortured poet with incredible writing skills kind of way. That's ridiculous. No. In the, she ripped my experiences from my mind and articulated them like no one else seemed to understand kind of way. You felt she saw you when no one else did. But like anything else, as you know, that feeling passes. You move on, and you forget. Doors open, doors close. You build walls. You take wrong turns. You get cozy in dead ends. And in the years that passed as you dragged yourself through adulthood in survival mode, you saw your potential evaporate, like dregs of cider forgotten at a summer barbecue, sticky and rancid and surrounded by wasps. But in the same vein as the ghost of Christmas future showing Scrooge the grim reality of his greed-fueled capitalist ways, you walked away from Sylvia's grave with a new sense of purpose. Born again. You realise, unlike Poor Plath, you are free. There are still some malnourished figs on your tree, and maybe with a bit of nurturing, you could coax them back to being juicy and fat and full of potential.